Hello and welcome to Alumni Field, where WCBN Sports is bringing you your weekly dose of action. My name is Morris Fabry, alongside me Jeremy Parks, and today we are witness to what may be the final battle of Washtenaw County between the Michigan Wolverines and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Just minutes away from the first pitch. JP, how you feeling?
Doing good for Tuesday rescheduled game here on the afternoon. It's a bit chilly, wind's a bit cool coming out of the south here at Alumni Field, but as you mentioned, could very well be the last battle for Washtenaw County here between the Wolverines and the Eagles. And as always, a lovely return back to Alumni Field for Melissa Gentili, head coach of the Eagles, a 4-year letter winner under Coach Carol Hutchins at the end of the 90s into 2000, and now at the reins in her 5th season with the Eagles.
The lineup for the Eastern Michigan Eagles: batting first, playing left field, Casey Skeens, followed by Haley Hostetler and Lauren Holdsworth. This inning, we'll get you the rest of the lineup as we go. They'll be facing Tara Blanco in the circle, but we're about ready to get underway. The wind whipping the flag in center field out, the wind blowing from behind home plate, conducive to some power hitting. As Blanco looks in, gets the sign from Alexander in the first pitch, a curveball on the outside corner for a called strike, as home plate umpire Mark Druyard raises the right hand. Down at first base, Ryan Grandy, and at third base, Brent Novak is your crew today. Blanco looks in. Her 0-1 pitch sails high to the lefty Skeens, hitting 159 on the season, the freshman.
Your game time temperature 44 degrees, winds at just about 10 miles an hour. First pitch at 4:02 today.
Blanco winds the 1-1. The slapper Skeens runs up and watches it go by for a called strike 2.
Blanco shifting the eye levels, 3 pitches in, goes up high, up above the helmet for the take, and then comes right back down to the bottom of the zone for a nice called strike.
Blanco winds the 1-2 on its way, swinging a tapper foul behind home plate.
Bit of a half-hearted chop there from Skeens to stay alive.
The freshman Skeens out of Poco, West Virginia, has 14 hits on the season, all of them singles. The infield and outfield shaded in against the freshman slapper. Blanco winds the 1-2, misses in the dirt low for ball 2. Good block from Katie Alexander.
As always, smothering it back behind the plate, Katie Alexander. Fantastic defensive prowess behind the plate at the back end of the battery for the Wolverines today.
Skeens starts her stance at the back of the batter's box. Feet somewhat pigeon-toed. The 2-2 on its way, swinging a slow roller over to first. Allen fields. Lou Allen steps on the bag unassisted. The first out of the day for Tara Blanco is a ground out.
And a nice start for Tara Blanco, starting to cruise here early through one batter. Lou Allen rocking that brace on the right knee still in the recovery stages from her early season injury that delayed her freshman debut, but a nice unassisted out number 1 on the afternoon.
That brings up the center fielder, a senior, Haley Hostetler, hitting 198 on the year. 1 home run, 10 RBI. The first pitch from Blanco on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Blanco pumping in strike after strike to these Eagles hitters. The outfield moves back to straightaway depth. Hostetler toward the back of the box. Wide stance, weight even, crouched low, the 1-1. Changeup in there for a called strike 2. Blanco not messing around early. Hostetler hails from New Haven, Indiana. Rests the bat on her right shoulder. Blanco looks in, gets the sign from Alexander. Way. Curveball ducks low for ball 1. A presence missing from the interior of this Eastern Michigan lineup is Amanda Akels, a junior corner infielder who hit 4 home runs against Miami of Ohio this weekend. Not going to be here today because she couldn't get out of class. The 1-2, rise ball misses high for ball 2.
Blanco had a little room to work ahead 0-2, and that's that comfortability that you get ahead in the count. Nice job to work around here. See where she goes on the 2-2.
Blanco winds, pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Haley Hostetler, the first K of the day for Blanco, who came into this one with a 1.39 ERA, a 6.2 win-loss record, 61 strikeouts in 65 2/3 innings, only 23 walks in that time. That will bring up the freshman Lauren Holdsworth, hails from Howell, Michigan. Blanca winds, delivers to the righty Holdsworth, who's way out in front of a changeup in the dirt for strike one.
Eastern Michigan coming into today's game at 6-27 in the overall wins-loss column. Trying to put something together here on a chilly Tuesday afternoon.
Big swing and a miss from Holdsworth, and that ball had visible arc on it. A foul tip into the glove of Katie Alexander, the catcher. Good stuff from Blanco, quickly ahead in the count 0-2. Blanco gets her sign, comes set. She winds. Pitch on the way. Curveball misses high for ball one.
Pretty well spotted pitch there right up at the letters on Eastern Michigan in the black pants, black jerseys with the green lettering. White helmets with the green E.
The 1-2 on its way from Blanco, curveball low and away. Probably trying to spot that on the knees on the outer edge after setting it up with the high ball, but missed her spot. The count moves to 2-2. Still firmly in control of this at-bat against the righty Holdsworth. Angles the bat high. The 2-2 swinging a ground ball foul.
Chops over towards the dugout. Can't tell if that's Sarah Driesinga down there or not. Jumping out of the way, down on the far end of the third base dugout.
Driesinga, of course, a volunteer assistant with this Eastern Michigan Eagles squad. You might be more familiar with her work for the Maize and Blue. Swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch. A rise ball up over the hands of Lauren Holdsworth. Blanco's second strikeout of the inning. And we head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless, the 1-2-3 frame for the Michigan senior here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball.
Nice start for Blanco, settling right back into the circle, trying to get that ERA back in the team competition for overall lowest ERA. She comes in at 1.39, and her work in the first will drop that a hair.
She faces some stiff competition, Jeremy.
And not doing a whole lot with it, really, in the opening innings. Just some simple pitch combinations, high-low, working in to out. No real speed changes on her work so far. Is an interesting warm-up here in the circle for Nicole Miranda, the starting pitcher for Eastern Michigan. Took a run-up on the first pitch through the circle.
Wearing a long waist-length black ponytail down her back. Miranda, the pitcher, 4.64 ERA on the season, 2-14 win-loss record, 108 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, 47 walks. The lineup she'll be facing, leading off playing second base, is Faith Canfield. Hitting second in center field, Natalie Peters. Hitting third in the circle, Tara Blanco. Hitting fourth at first base, the freshman Lou Allen. Hitting fifth at third base, Maddie Uden. Hitting sixth behind the plate, Katie Alexander. Hitting seventh in right field, Aiden Falk. Hitting eighth in left field, Haley Hogenrod. Hitting ninth at shortstop, Natalia Rodriguez. And Sarah Schaefer is listed as a designated player, but I assume that's just to make some lineup manipulations a little easier if she wants to come in to pitch. So Canfield will lead it off. She's hitting .415 on the season. Her 17-game hitting streak ended this weekend against Penn State, but she started it up again in the final tilt. Takes the first pitch low and away for ball one.
Miranda, not a big strikeout pitcher, just 61 so far on the season in just over 100 innings of work, 108 2/3.
The 1-0 to Canfield, a slow changeup in there for a called strike. Draws some cheers from the crowd, mostly maize and blue, but some smatterings of green.
Michigan got the home all whites today.
Canfield stands toward the front of the box, knees splayed slightly inward. The 1-1 on its way. She takes, and it's a curveball that misses low and away for ball two. Among the members of the starting lineup, Canfield, who leads off, has by far the lowest amount of walks of any hitter. Nonetheless, she's among the leaders in on-base percentage. You can say that is because Faith can hit. Swings and hits a three-hopper to short. Fielded and flipped across the diamond to first by Brandis Almas, the shortstop, for the first out of the inning.
A nice quick out from Miranda to get her outing underway. Fell behind in the count, not something that she wants to continue here against this Michigan lineup, but an important first out. Coming in against competition that is 31-7 ball against a struggling Eastern Michigan Eagles team.
Michigan has won 24 out of their last 25. The pitch from Miranda to Natalie Peters is a curveball that misses off the plate away. On that last ground out, almost the shortstop had a whip-quick transition from glove to hand. Didn't even take a step toward first base. The throw was a little slow, but I guess she sacrificed some velocity for just getting it out of her hand quick to get the speedy Canfield. The 1-0 to Peters misses off the plate away again for ball 2. Peters, the slap-hitting lefty junior, hitting .305 on the season. Cleared the fences last weekend against Penn State for her first home run of the season. That went to straightaway center.
A little bit of power in that bat for the short stature of Peters.
The 2-0 curveball again off the plate away. The count runs to 3-0 on Natalie Peters.
Miranda has not missed by much in this at bat on a few of those pitches, trying to tease the outside corner there, just not getting the call.
Can't hang it over the middle. She'll drive it over the fence. 3-0 the count. Peters will be taking all the way. Pitch on the way, misses off the plate outside. 4 pitches, 4 balls outside, and Peters is down to first base with the easiest walk she'll see today, likely. That brings up the 3-hitter, Tara Blanco, who comes up to Drake's God's Plan.
Can't escape it.
It's everywhere. I don't hate it.
What the kids would call a bop, Morris.
Is that what the kids would call it? You would know more than I am. More than I would. Peters at first leads the team in stolen bases with 11. Also leads the team in caught stealing, as she's been caught 4 times. Miranda winds the first pitch to Tara Blanco. She takes, and it's a called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Got to think she was taking all the way, given the erratic command in the previous at-bat.
Never want to give up a 4-pitch walk, but good to come back and start off with a first pitch strike against Blanco.
The 0-1 misses over the head of the catcher back to the backstop. Peters scampers down to second.
That one just got away on the release there.
Holland, the freshman catcher, stands at 5'6". If she were 8'6", she might not have had a chance at that pitch.
Released just a bit late as the arm was coming up there. Flies over the head of the catcher to the backstop.
That'll happen. The 1-1 curveball, called strike, outer half at the thighs. The count runs to 1-2 on Blanco, hitting .352. 8 home runs, leads the team. 33 RBI, also leads the team. Second highest OBP as well. Miranda winds. The 1-2 misses low. Blanco jumps out of the way, almost took that one off her shins. The count now even at 2-2 with Peters on second and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless tie between the Wolverines and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Infield shaded toward the opposite side. The 2-2 check swing. She went around. Blanco down on strikes on a curveball low and away for the second out of the inning.
An awkward swing to end the at-bat there as it tailed towards that outer edge and low, and Blanco biting on the initial offering, what she saw with the eyes, and an awkward swing in the end to end it for her.
You rarely ever see Tara Blanco swing at anything less than 100%, so good job by Miranda to deceive the power hitter. Now comes another power hitter, Lou Allen, who takes the first pitch, curveball, called strike at the knees, outer edge. Hit the first 2 home runs of her career over the weekend at Penn State. One of them was one of the bigger home runs of the season for the Wolverines as it broke a scoreless tie in the 7th to go up 2-0.
Grinding out a tough weekend game there in Happy Valley.
Takes a changeup that skips away from the catcher Holland, and down to third base goes Natalie Peters, just 60 feet away from the opening run for the Wolverines.
Tried to smother that one up in the midsection, but it bounced up off of the glove and the wrist back there for the Eagles catcher there.
Yeah, Sophia Holland not having the easiest go of it early on.
So now Peters to third on 2 pass balls.
Allen stands near the front of the batter's box, holds the bat about 45 degrees to the ground, and takes a curveball just low and away. Close pitch from Miranda. The count moves to 2-1. The wind has died down. The sun hidden by the clouds. The lights are on here at Alumni Field at 4:15. Miranda winds the 2-1, swinging a slow chopper over towards second, fielded on the short hop by Cretion, the second baseman. She fires to first for the final out of the inning, and that'll do it for the Wolverines. Peters gets on with 1 out, but other than that, nothing doing for the Maize and Blue. We head to the top of the second, still scoreless, here at Alumni Field on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball.
So Michigan unable to score on their first RISP chance of the afternoon. Something that even against a lower opponent, still important to keep up appearances for the Wolverines, a aspect of the game that in recent times has been a bit of a struggle for this side.
Yeah, this year their win total is pretty gaudy, but the Big Ten just this year does not afford the Wolverines any opportunities to slip up, and the non-conference slate that they play throughout the conference schedule without the time to take a road trip also just not very good for Michigan's strength of schedule, so they really cannot take a single game off, whereas you know, you got your SEC, your Big 12, Pac-12 teams that, you know, they lose a game, it doesn't hurt them that much because they're going up against regularly teams in the top 30 in the country, whereas Michigan, not only is the Big Ten not a great softball contest, they're also not competing with the best in the Big Ten. First pitch, swinging a line drive, left center field. On the run is Peters. She slides and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Brandis Holness got a lot of that one as Blanco left it out over the plate with some speed on it, picking up off the bat of Holness, and it looked like it was destined for that left center gap, but a nice bit of ground covered out there in center field by Peters and puts a little pizzazz on it at the end.
That brings up the catcher, Sophia Howland, hitting 143, the freshman is. First pitch from Blanco, check swing foul off of, I think, the shin guard of the catcher, Alexander, and out toward third base. Yeah, Peters had a fantastic jump on that ball. As soon as it was off the bat, she was taking off at full speed. Blanco winds, the 0-1 on its way to Howland. Curveball misses low for ball 1.
So even though a bit scary, a 1 pitch at bat to open the inning, and now a nice even count to work from Blanco.
It's a fine line between a hanging pitch and efficiency. The 1-1 fouled back to the screen. The count moves to 1-2 on Howland. She'll be followed by Sam Isley, Ariana Cretion, the second baseman, the designated player Ariel Anderson, and the right fielder Angel Schilke.
And in a lineup with nobody hitting over 260, Holland, the owner of the lowest average on the team.
And she will see that average drop a little more as she strikes out swinging at a changeup low and away for the second out of the inning. Blanco's third K of the game. And that brings up Sam Isley. Isley, a sophomore of Dublin, Ohio, hitting 188 on the season. Blanco gets her sign. She winds. Check swing, pop-up, foul ground. It's going to land in the Wolverines' dugout.
Came up and inside on Isley there. Just sticks the bat up for protection and knocks it over towards the first base side.
Lou Allen and Katie Alexander almost synchronized diagonal routes, converging on a point they couldn't possibly reach. Nobody on, 2 outs. The count 0-1 on Isley. Pitch on its way, swinging a rocket grounder foul off the Eastern Michigan dugout down the third base side. Haley Hogenrod fields it on a backhand on the dirt down the third baseline out in left field and relays it back into the infield. Isley, a righty first baseman, gives her bat a twirl. Has an open stance near the front of the box. Stands tall. The 0-2 called strike 3. Blanco whistles one right down Broadway for her 4th strikeout in just 2 innings, and we head to the bottom of the second. Relatively uneventful game so far. Well, I guess I'm wrong on that one. Peters' catch was pretty eventful.
A nice
just
grab
scoreless.
there. Yep, scoreless game still here, but again, 4 Ks for Blanco so far in the afternoon. That one, the first one looking as she continues to roll here against the Eagles. Michigan now looking to put some offense on the board here in the bottom frame of the second inning.
Looking to do that will be Madison Uden, followed by Katie Alexander and Aiden Falk. Then up Haley Hogenrod, Natalia Rodriguez. And it's really refreshing to look through this Michigan lineup all the averages start with threes, except for Rodriguez, who's at 279.
Yeah, as I was saying about Eastern's lineup, Holland, the owner of the lowest average on the team, was hitting 143 prior to her at bat, in which she struck out. But the highest average on the team, Ariel Anderson, hitting just 256 today. But again, that's because Amanda Akel's not in the lineup. She is the team leader for average. But as we said, for some reason unable to get out of class down the road in Ypsilanti today. Bit hard to comprehend with a Division I athletic program, but more on the end of the Eastern Michigan softball program that is looming to come in the later mid-innings.
So Uden, the lefty, up to the plate, hitting 376 on the season. The first pitch from Nicole Miranda she takes, and it's a curveball called strike on the outside corner. Well located. I don't think there's anything Uden could have done with that one if she had offered at it.
Hitting 376, but just 235 when she leads the inning off.
Miranda winds the 0-1. Changeup, swinging a line drive, straight away center. Making the catch on the run is Haley Hostetler. That one sinking fast, but not quickly enough to find green grass in the outfield. The first out of the inning.
Kind of a golf chip shot there for Uden.
That'll bring up Katie Alexander, the junior catcher, hitting 341 with 4 home runs, 15 RBI on the season. The Saline Slugger, as she is known, stands with a wide stance toward the front of the box. First pitch from Miranda, swinging a fly ball, golfed into right field. Moving onto the track, moving in, and then dropping the ball as the right fielder, Shilke Alexander, cruises into second base on the error.
A bit of an odd play there. It looked as though that one was just hanging up there, and it had some good distance on it as it tracked all the way back to the backtrack there at the wall at 200 or so. And Shilke just unable to squeeze the leather to it, and so the Wolverines with 1 out will have a runner in scoring position, courtesy of the error.
It's far more difficult than it looks to find the wall, find your bearings on that warning track, and also keep track of a ball that's being buffeted by the wind. Tough for Shilke, but Alexander will take it. That brings up Aiden Falk. She takes the first pitch off the plate away for ball 1. And it looked like she was bracing herself against the wall. I thought it might have a chance off the bat of Alexander just because of the sound it made, the backspin that it had. And the wind had been blowing out for the early stages of the game. The 1-0 big swing and a miss from Aiden Falk.
E9 for the scorebook keepers at home. As Aiden Falk is going to look to do a little work here at the plate. She's been dropping in the lineup, as noted by our colleague Kevin Klein, co-presenter on East of the Rockies. Before the game mentioned that as well, as she's dropped down in the lineup here to 7th today.
The 1-1 off the plate away for ball 2. Still hitting 319 on the season, 4 home runs, 22 RBI. Started the season a little hotter than she has been lately, but with a career like hers, you know, she's been through slumps. She knows how to get out of a slump. The 2-1 on its way. Takes it low and away for ball 3. One thing she doesn't do very often is walk. She's got 5 walks on the season to go along with 26 strikeouts, which leads the team. Sort of a swing big, miss big approach.
Trying to put the ball in play more than anything is Aiden Falk, and when you have the power that Falk does, it makes sense.
So the count 3-1 on the senior Falk.
Trying to take advantage of the drop ball over in right field by Shilke.
Pitch on the way. Miranda swinging a soft one-hopper over towards second. The field to flip over to first. Crum Cretion is the second out of the inning. And now with 2 outs.
Will advance Alexander over to third on the throw.
That brings up Haley Hogenrod, whose trajectory has been an upward one throughout the course of the season. I don't think we pegged her as the starter in left field, and she did have to fight with Thais Gonzalez to get time in the lineup, but as of the last few weeks, she has really seized hold of her spot. First pitch from Nicole Miranda. Slow changeup misses high and outside for ball 1. The sophomore righty hitting .318 on the season, 2 home runs, 14 RBI. Has really had some stellar performances at home. The 1-0 on its way, swinging a foul back to the screen. Hoganrod tardy on that one.
As you mentioned, a fan of the friendly confines here. Hoganrod significantly better. I don't have the exact stats with me, but strongly prefers the home field here at Alumni. Or just settling in more as Michigan getting back to the home state later on in the season.
The 1-1 over the head of the catcher Holland, charging toward home, sliding in safely is Katie Alexander. She scores on the wild pitch, and that's the first run of the game for the Michigan Wolverines.
And that is a free run for Michigan if you could ever be given one. Alexander to second on the drop ball in right, advancing to third on the fielder's choice, and now coming around to home on the third pass ball of the game off the arm of Miranda.
So a productive out in the end for Maiden Falk. The 2-1 on its way, curveball misses away for ball 3. Hoganrod hitting .444 with 2 outs this season. In a brief two-person conference at the mound between the catcher Holland and the pitcher Miranda, who has acquitted herself pretty well against this Michigan lineup that has still been inconsistent, but more good than bad lately. The 3-1 on its way. Called strike. Hoganrod twisted out of the way and was ready to trot down to first.
Yeah, she tried to sell that one, but home plate umpire Mark Drouillard right on top of it.
We don't get pronunciation guides for the umps. Full count, nobody on, 2 outs, bottom of the second. The payoff pitch on its way, swinging a line drive down the right field line. It's going to drop for a base hit, and Hoganrod runs through the bag at first to prevent a throw from the right fielder Schilke. She's on with a 2-out knock.
That one was laced so hot into right field, Schilke might have had a play at first base, and she decided to come in with it. Hoganrod was only halfway down the base path as she took her one hop step. Maybe a bit afraid after the error over there a few batters ago.
I've been thrown out at first before. It's not a good feeling. I think Lou Allen got thrown out at first once earlier in the season. First pitch, Natalia Rodriguez squares to bunt and pulls back for ball 1. She's the lone hitter not hitting over 300 this season, but she's at 280. She leads the team in sacrifice bunts, and she's gotten on base a fair amount too. A terror on the base pass once she does get on. The 1-0 on its way. Hoganrod takes off. Throw down to second, not in time. It's a stolen base for Haley Hoganrod, and now with a 2-0 count.
Really a bad jump by Hoganrod as well, but the throw not good down to Olmus at short off the arm of the catcher Holland.
Rodriguez a chance to drive her home. Canfield, the top of the order, waiting on deck. The 2-0 on its way. She squares to bunt, lays it down behind the catcher for strike 1.
Rodriguez with a lot of speed down the line.
She hit both righty and lefty, as is pretty typical for slappers at the college level. Only hits lefty here. The 2-1 on its way. Tapper foul toward the third base side of the backstop. The count runs to 2-2 on the freshman shortstop.
Rodriguez, 1 RBI so far on the season. A base knock could very well bring Hoganrod around.
The 2-2. Curveball just misses away. Miranda leans in. Couldn't get the call. The count runs full.
She's hit that curve on that outside edge about 4 or 5 times in this game so far, and they've all been close, but she's been unable to get the call in every instance.
The payoff pitch to Natalia Rodriguez, swinging a pop-up shallow center field. Hostetler doesn't need to move. She camps under it and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. I think that's the farthest I've seen the ball travel off the bat of Natalia Rodriguez, but unfortunately, a little too much arc and in the wrong spot for the final out of the inning. The Wolverines get 1 on the wild pitch, and we head to the top of the third, a 1-0 lead for Michigan.
Bit of a knuckler inside there on Rodriguez to end the inning. Again, a big thank you for tuning in this afternoon on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. YouTube.com/WCBN Sports and WCBNSports.org. Exciting announcement, the website about to be under renovation.
Oh.
Getting a fresh new look for the old URL. Had to re-up on the rights to the domain this week. Figured why not do a little touch-up as well, so we brought in a professional.
Are we going to update the staff bios too?
We're looking at 2 years ago staff bios. See what we can do here. It's not my ship to run after this week.
Oh, man. Really? This week is your last week?
The proverbial handing of the reins to Evan Osterley Sunday at the team dinner at Palio.
Ah, of course. Bummed that I'll be missing that.
It's been a fun ride in the dictatorship, if you can even call it that, I guess, because I'm willingly abdicating my power.
Yeah, you'll have to operate from the shadows from now on. So it'll be Ariana Cretion, followed by Ariel Anderson and Angel Schilke. First pitch, swing and a miss. New inning, same Tara Blanco. Yet to surrender a base runner. She's struck out 4 through 2. Cretion, the righty, stands toward the front of the box. Wide stance, swing and a tap foul off the glove of Katie Alexander and back to the screen.
It's the 4th batter so far today that Blanco's gotten ahead in the count 0-2. Giving herself a lot of wiggle room with these Eagles batters.
The 0-2 on its way. Swinging a foul, top of the screen. Lou Allen makes the catch on the fly, but of course the ball is dead the moment it hits that screen, and the count stays 0-2.
The basket grab.
Showcasing the range, running through that knee brace. Another 0-2 on its way. Hard curveball misses just off the plate, low and away, and the count runs to 1-2 on Ariana Cretion.
Cretion, one of the better hitters for average in this lineup, 214 on the season.
1-2 swing and a miss. Blanco pulls the string, pulls some speed off of the pitch, and Cretion down the 5th strikeout for Tara Blanco on the day.
Numero 5 creeping up here for Blanco. The K number's good early on. She keeps confusing these Eagles. They cannot make contact, really. Almost the only one to hit it hard out to left center.
That brings up Ariel Anderson, a lefty slapper, takes the first pitch curveball, spotted on the outside corner for a called strike. Tara Blanco, a rough translation, white land. Or land white. The 0-1, swinging a slow tapper, one hop to third. Udenfields steps toward Allen and fires across the diamond for the second out of the inning.
Quick work here for Blanco as this game cruising right along.
Yeah, you know, I was expecting a run rule heading in, just given the general records of these two teams, but might be just as quick to wrap this up 1-0 the way Blanco's going. First pitch to Angel Schilke. Off-speed changeup in there for a called strike. Got these Eastern Michigan Eagles dancing. Schilke, a righty, hitting 192 on the season. The 0-1 on its way. Schilke squares to bunt, has to pull back as the changeup misses in the dirt for ball 1.
Blanco about to get through the EMU lineup for the first time through. All clean if she can produce the out here.
The 1-1 on its way. Pumps up the gas, misses high for ball 2, and Katie Alexander will have a word.
Just a little something in the release there. Blanco, you know, the equivalent that I can always think of from what I do is in golf, try and kill the ball and it's going to fly away on you. So just try and ease that pitch in there. No need to kill it. Can definitely throw it fast, but no need to try and put a little extra juice on it.
I've had mixed results with everything I try in golf. The 2-1, big swing and a miss. You wouldn't know she took anything off of that one because it came in hot. Count moves to 2-2.
That release just a little bit lower there that time. Got it out a little earlier.
Blanco gets the sign. She winds. The 2-2 pitch, swinging a foul ball. It was going to bounce off the roof above the press box, right over where Ira from WTKA is standing and calling. Fortunately, that screen is in the way, or unfortunately if you're looking for a souvenir.
The only one in 4 years that you and I got. Penn State at the Big Ten Championship 2 years ago, right into the press box.
Curveball misses high, and the count runs full.
Making things a little interesting here to round out the first 9 batters for the Eagles.
Is this the first 3-ball count of the day for Terra Blanco?
It is indeed.
Pitch on the way, misses low and away. And Schilke is the first base runner of the day for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. She reaches on a full count walk.
Yep, first 3-ball count, first walk of the afternoon for Blanco. You had to mention it, Morris.
That's the first 4-ball count of the day as well, as facts would have it. That brings up the leadoff hitter, the slapper Casey Skeens. First pitch from Blanco misses high for ball 1. Alexander out of her crouch, a look down to first, but Schilke not going anywhere. Blanco looks in, gets the sign, the on its way, swinging a slow roller right back to Blanco in the circle. She fields, fires to Allen at first, and that's the final out of the top of the 3rd. So Eastern gets a base runner, but no more. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. A 1-0 Michigan lead with the top of the lineup due up against Nicole Miranda, who has yet to surrender an earned run on the game. It really is a shame. This is likely the last battle of Washtenaw County. I don't think it's controversial to say that Eastern's doing a great disservice to their student athletes by discontinuing softball.
We've mentioned it, the full story again coming back out at the end of March, about 3 weeks ago, that Eastern Michigan, facing some steep budget cuts, are going to be removing 4 of their varsity sporting programs, softball among them, including men's swim and dive, women's tennis, and wrestling. And they actually led the MAC with the most varsity teams. They had 21. They're now cutting it back to 17. But still, on the plus side, they're keeping some of their athletics. However, this will be the last time, at least for now, that the green and white will grace Alumni Field. No word on what will be next for Melissa Gentili or for the rest of the Eastern Michigan players here, but a nice announcement before the game from the home PA here about wishing them all the best, and we do as well. It's always a nice midweek game to catch every fall, or every spring I should say. Feels like fall today though.
I don't think we've hit spring yet. Faith Canfield at the dish, grounded out to short, her first plate appearance. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. The American flag in center now billowing lazily out toward right center.
Good vocab.
Canfield holds the bat out in front, pulls back the 1-0, misses off the plate inside just below the knees for ball 2. Couple of players on Ray Fisher. No baseball game occurring simultaneously today, as this one was rescheduled. The 2-0 curveball off the plate outside for ball 3.
Michigan softball will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. That one's going to be on air on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor.
Miranda winds the 3-0. Canfield takes all the way, and it splits the heart of the plate for a called strike 1.
No nickname for the softball rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State, but battle for Washtenaw County today and a big rivalry game tomorrow.
3-1, curveball, well located, strike on the outer half, about thigh high. Not the pitch Canfield was looking for, and now the count runs full on the junior second baseman, hitting .415 on the season, 6 home runs, and 32 RBI. Remarkable for a leadoff hitter. The payoff pitch just off the plate inside for ball 4.
Tell you what, you say hold it for an extra beat. Holland held it there for about 3 extra beats after the pitch, but it was well located and a hard take there by Canfield, but she'll trot down to first, and the Wolverines will lead off the inning with a base runner.
You talk about selling it. She would have been halfway down to first even if Driard rung her up. She's very eager for that to be called a ball. That brings up Natalie Peters, walked in her first plate appearance. Pitch on the way from Miranda, check swing foul back to the screen. Not even sure she was trying to offer at it, but it came up and in, and Peters couldn't get the bat out of the way. Canfield 8 for 9 stealing bases on the season. Peters actually named Canfield the best base runner on the team in an interview that you can hear on East of the Rockies, WCBN's Michigan softball podcast. The 0-1 on the way. Peters soft played away for ball 1. We're recording another episode of that tonight. Missed a week due to scheduling conflicts, but we're going to be back with a bang, a bonanza.
Apparently the undue influence of parakeets.
Yeah. The less said about that, the better. The 1-1 on its way, swinging a line drive down the left field line right at the left fielder, Casey Skeens. Peters scorched one, but hopefully she won't be buying any lottery tickets anytime soon. It's a bad investment normally, and with the way her luck's going, she's definitely not going to win.
Hey, I won $15 on some scratch-off tickets earlier today. Net game.
Could have transferred some of that to Natalie Peters, and maybe she finds a gap.
Yeah, she got a good piece of it, but it'll also keep Canfield planted at first.
1 on, 1 out for Tara Blanco. Struck out looking her first plate appearance. Struck out check swinging, I should say. Takes the first pitch off the plate in for ball 1.
Put a little more confidence in that swing at the plate.
Miranda gets her sign, the 1-0. Swinging a hard grounder over toward third. The field, the flip over to second for 1. The relay not nearly in time. It's a fielder's choice. Well done by the third baseman Holdsworth to nail the lead runner in Faith Canfield. And now with 2 outs, that leaves Blanco on first base for Lou Allen. That throw down to second, not quite quick enough for Cretion to have much to work with. Allen grounded out to second, her last plate appearance. Miranda winds, first pitch on its way. Curveball low and away for ball 1. Outfield shading her straight away. Allen, known as a power hitter in high school, in addition to being, able to spray the line drives, the 1-0. Curveball called strike at the knees.
Bit of a delayed call on that one, but
yeah, hadn't really shown us the power until this weekend, but hopefully it's a case of recovering from that knee injury, really finding her legs beneath her. And now, catching up to the speed of the college game, learning to drive it. The 1-1 misses high for ball 2.
It's actually 3-0 on the count.
Oh, guess it is.
So what we thought was a delayed call, I thought I heard him go strike as well, just not bring up the right hand, but 3-0 the count on Allen.
We'll call it a bad call by the umpire. I thought it was a strike, so it must have been. The 3-0 on its way. She's taking all the way, and it's a called strike at the knees, outside corner. I'd say it was less of the strike than the second pitch, but
I've always wondered if, in these 3-0 counts, the Hutch rule never to swing, if you were to just throw an absolute lobster, what would be the result?
The 3-1 misses off the plate low and in for ball 4. I imagine it would be a violation of some rules because I think you're only allowed to throw softballs. You would certainly get a surprised reaction from both the batter and the catcher to see a lobster flying through the air.
How I hate you, Morris.
I don't even know how you would grip a lobster to throw it. I mean, if you're able to locate that thing for a strike, more power to you.
Some days I just want to kill you. It only took, let's see. Yeah, 3 innings to get to this point. It's our first call together of the season.
Yep.
I avoided your presence in Florida. Brought Drain instead. That was great. He does everything I ask. Doesn't ask any questions. Accepts the idiom for what it is.
Yeah, no such luck here. That brings up Maddie Uden, 2 on, 2 out. Miranda Wines, first pitch. She takes, and it's a curveball over the heart of the plate for a called strike one. The center fielder, Hostetler, jumping up and down with enthusiasm. That one had visible cut to it as it dropped in front of home plate. 0-1 the count. Miranda Wines delivers. Misses low and away for ball one. Uden, one struggle I identified for her when I saw her in Oxford is she seemed to struggle making contact with the outside pitches. But in the games I've watched since then, she's hit numerous doubles to that left center field gap. And now she rockets one toward right center field on one hop, fielded by the right fielder. It's a base hit. The throw in is bobbled. Uden charging down to second. 1 run scores. Allen down to third base. It's an RBI single for Madison Uden, and Michigan takes a 2-0 lead.
A little bit to digest there on the play. The hard shot out to right center field, gathered in by Schilke. Came back in, trying to hit what might have been a cutoff in Olmus at short, but coming in and then advancing on the pass by second base. Uden going to second, should say. Allen in at third, so now runners on second and third with 2 outs in a 2-0 lead for the Maize and Blue.
Yeah, a bit sloppy on behalf of the Eagles means that the Wolverines have runners on second and third rather than first and second. For Katie Alexander, who takes the first pitch high, turns out of the way. The count 1-0 on the Saline Slugger. Reached second base on an error by the right fielder Schilke in her first at-bat. Ended up scoring on a wild pitch. The wind blowing out toward right center again. The 1-0 takes for strike one.
Alexander had that golfed fly ball over to right field in her last at-bat that was dropped by Schilke. She eventually came around to score on a pass ball. That was the first run of the game for Michigan.
The 1-1 in the dirt. Off-speed pitch, well blocked there by Holland. Corralled it. You know Lou Allen's going to be waiting on the tiniest sliver of opportunity to dart home. Alexander hitting .337 with 4 home runs on the season. The 2-1 on the way off the plate inside. Just missed. Count moves to 3-1. Nicole Miranda can't buy a call at the moment.
Trying to avoid making a bad situation worse. Needs one more out to get out of the inning, but Michigan's still threatening with 2 in scoring position.
The 3-1 swinging a slow tapper over towards short. Fielded, flipped over to first by Almus for the final out of the inning. So Michigan strands 2, but they get 1 on the rocket RBI single by Madison Uden, and we head to the top of the 4th. Michigan now a 2-0 lead over the Eastern Michigan Eagles here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball.
Good job by Miranda to get out of that sticky jam there, just giving up 1 run. A 2-0 lead for Michigan to take into the 4th inning, and not that she's needed it so far, but a little more comfort for Tara Blanco in the circle with some run support now behind her.
Blanco has been nearly spotless today. She will be facing the middle of the Eastern Michigan lineup in Haley Hostetler, Lauren Holdsworth, and Brandis Almus.
Just 41 pitches so far for Blanco, has been pretty efficient.
3 innings, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And that's about it. 2 runs on 2 hits with no errors for the Wolverines. No runs, no hits, and 2 errors for Eastern Michigan. And boy, I'll tell you, the way Michigan scores runs is not always pretty, but they never give away free runs to their opponents. Their pitchers are rarely putting hitters on base via the free passes. All 3 pitchers in Blanco, Bobby, and Schaefer are relatively walk-averse. The defense just does not make any errors. And that's why I think they've been able to scrape out so many close wins and why the staff ERA is as low as it is. Because in addition to not making errors, they got some range out there in the field too. First pitch from Blanco to Hostetler, big cut and a miss. Pitch bounces about 5 feet in front of home plate, but Hostetler made up her mind a little early. Blanco shakes off one sign, gets the call she wants, the 0-1. Curveball off the plate away for ball 1. Hostetler hitting 196, struck out swinging her first plate appearance. The 1-1 up and in, almost nipped off that elbow guard of Hostetler. Instead, it just sails by for ball 2. Hostetler's 10 walks, 15 strikeouts on the season. Blanco winds the 2-1. Change up, misses low for ball 3.
Rarely has Blanco fallen behind in the count today.
I believe this is her second 3-ball count of the game.
Indeed. Last one was a walk on a full count.
She winds, delivers to the righty. Hostetler swinging away at a pitch up in the zone and skies it over the bleachers. Out of play behind home plate, and the count runs full.
We'll go back to the full count again.
The infield and outfield shaded straight away. Blanco shakes off the first sign, gets the one she wants. The payoff pitch misses low for ball 4. I think Blanco is the only Michigan pitcher I see ever shake off any signs. She does it with, some frequency. I don't think Beaubien or Schaefer, I don't think I've seen either of them ever do it the way I've seen Blanco do it.
I can recall on maybe one occasion so far this year Beaubien calling one off, but it was still very subtle, just a quick shake. Blanco a little bit more emphatic. It's a bit easier to tell. Might also be another aspect of that.
That brings up Lauren Holdsworth. Squares to bunt, pulls back. The pitch is a called strike on half.
Very interesting. Hostetler down at first. Watch her take her kind of
like a
lead.
sprinter.
Yeah, she's got sprinter stance down on first base. Down into a one knee and a 3-point stance.
Right knee in the dirt, right hand in the dirt. Gets in the crouch, the 0-1. Squares to bunt, does Holdsworth, and pops it up off the screen behind home plate. The count runs quickly to 0-2 on the number 3 hitter in the Eastern Michigan order.
I can't say that I've seen that. Lining up with a sprinting stance. I mean, a lot of folks run track in high school, but that is truly something.
Blanco winds the 0-2. Curveball just misses low and away.
Good pitch. Yeah, it's a good pitch.
Great 2-strike location. I gotta imagine if it were effective, more runners would be doing it. It certainly seems like, if it works in track and field, why wouldn't it work on the diamond? The 1-2 on its way, swing and a miss. Change up in the dirt. Well blocked and corralled by Alexander. Prevents the runner Hostetler from advancing. So Holdsworth 0 for 2 with 2 swinging Ks. And that'll bring up Brandis Almas.
That's the 6th strikeout of the game for Tara Blanco. 1 away from the siete.
Yeah, I know my Spanish numbers too, JP.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was going to give away the phrase, but, I got to save it.
Yeah.
For the actual 7th.
What phrase, you might ask? Well, if you're familiar with our broadcasts,
You'll know.
It's emblazoned on your memory. And as Haley Hostetler is no longer on first base, I have to imagine she was just called out for leaving early. There was a lot of noise, maybe a bit of a furor.
Yes, she did leave early. That's the score. So unassisted out. As Hostetler will be forced back. That sprinting stance, I guess. She jumped the gun, you might say.
That was a good one, JP. Hostetler, more like false startler. That was not a good one.
No, that wasn't.
Yours is far better. That brings up Brandis Almas, the shortstop. First pitch from Tara Blanco. Swings in cricket style, hits a pitch in the dirt. Grounds it foul.
So now 2 outs in the inning.
Nobody on the infield and outfield straight away against the righty Almas. Blanco winds. She takes. Pitch misses high for ball 1. The scoreboard reads 2-2.
Actually, we're a bit behind, so the actual leaving early resulted in the strikeout being called back.
Huh. Swinging a ground ball foul off the dugout, the Eastern Michigan dugout.
So
that's
it's actually
interesting. So it nullifies the pitch.
Yes. Holdsworth is still at the plate. Now in a 2-2 count. That makes sense. The scoreboard for a second read 2 outs, and it made sense. But then I looked over to the on-deck circle where Brandis Almas is still taking practice cuts.
2-2 fouled off the screen behind home plate. Well.
So a scoring change, now just 6 strikeouts. Or 5 strikeouts, I should say, for Blanco.
Darn.
So,
well,
yeah, I haven't seen that before.
You would think after 3 seasons of covering the team in this game, I would know the rules, but learned something new today.
Yep, that gets called back, and now Katie Alexander is going to come out for a quick word with Tara Blanco. Perhaps she's got one pitch in mind here for the set in the 2-2 count.
So it is Holdsworth awaiting the 2-2, called strike 3. Instead of a strikeout swinging, she goes down looking. It's the second out of the inning. Katie Alexander starts jogging toward the dugout, flips the ball back to the circle. She's confused. At least I'm not the only one. But there are only 2 outs. Drew Yard, the ump, is looking toward the looking toward the press box. He doesn't know whether there's 2 or 3 outs. There are 2. I'm pretty sure there are 2 outs.
That'd be 2 down. And now it's going to be Olmus's turn. Yeah, so nobody realized, including the umpire, that last at-bat was still going.
Maybe they're still learning the rules. Blanco winds, first pitch swinging a tapper foul over toward the dugout.
So a confusing run of it here.
I mean, if you add up the foul balls, really, Hostetler struck out twice. No, Holdsworth struck out twice during that at-bat. So you could theoretically give her 7, but there's only 6 in the scorebook. Big cut and a miss on a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, that's an ugly cut by Olmus. That one about 5 feet in front of the plate as it bounces up and into the leather of Alexander.
Blanco looks in. The 0-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Down goes Almas, number 7, through 4 innings of work for Tara Blanco.
She's got one for you for each day of the week, Morris.
Yeah. Brandis swung, almost made contact.
There you go. 7 on the day for Tara Blanco. Wolverines, 2-0 lead.
That will bring up the bottom of the order. Aiden Falk in the 7-hole, followed by Haley Hoganrod and Natalia Rodriguez. Michigan 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Eastern yet to reach base via the batted ball today. No runs, no hits, and 2 errors. I don't know if Tara Blanco has a no-hitter yet on her career.
That is something that I can look up here in just a minute. I'm trying to recall personally if I saw one.
I'm relatively certain I've never seen her throw a no-hitter.
I don't think so. Take a dig here in the stat book, why don't we?
Michigan's got pretty good archives.
Entertain the folks for me for a minute, Morris.
Sure. Now, before each of the high-profile games that we covered with WCBM, we had Josh Zinke, formerly of WTKA. I think he keeps his own records, and he would often give us a list of current Wolverines who are approaching all-time sorts of benchmarks. Don't really know what he's doing right now, but it was nice to have him around. I always appreciated his help. That is absurdly loud walk-up music for Aiden Falk.
Yeah, I think they dialed it back just a second there.
First pitch from Miranda to Falk, she takes, and it's off the plate away for ball 1. Falk 0 for 1, a grounder to second, which moved Katie Alexander to third. She scored during a wild pitch in the next at-bat. Miranda winds, the 1-0 on its way to Aiden Falk. Swing and a slow roller, 2 hops over to second. Cretion fields and fires to first for the second out of the inning. Falk's rolled over on it twice in 2 at-bats. The walk-up music remains loud.
Yeah, interesting.
And that'll bring up Haley Hoganrod. First at bat, she lined a single to right field. She awaits the first pitch from Miranda. Curveball called strike on the inner half.
So I'll get you the Tara Blanco update when she comes back out here in the bottom of the fourth. Couple of tidbits there.
It's called a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
In the biz.
Yeah, keep them invested, you know.
Miranda Wines, the 0-1 changeup, swing and a foul. Hoganrod had to slow down her swing to even make contact and tapped it between her legs toward the left side. The count runs to 0-2 on the sophomore left fielder. Miranda looks in, gets the sign. The 0-2 on its way. Another changeup. This one skied foul down the right field line, off the periphery of the screen just in front of the Michigan bullpen.
Protecting that plate in the 0-2 count for Hoganrod. Trying to increase this 2-0 lead for Michigan in a slow-moving game here in the bottom of the fourth.
The 0-2 misses high. Holland, to her credit, able to pounce out of her crouch and grab that one.
That's the first one she's been able to get up out of the crouch to grab. Perhaps anticipating a little bit more now the late release of Miranda, giving it up high.
Miranda Wines, the 1-2 up and in. It hits Haley Hoganrod on her left elbow. On the guard, I think.
Yeah, right. That's why you wear the pad. No flinch there at all from Hoganrod as she takes it right off the hard plastic.
God, it's just gruesome to imagine the amount of funny bones we would see hit in softball, if not for those guards the players wear. That'll bring up Natalia Rodriguez. She flied out to center in her first at-bat. Hoganrod did steal second last time she was on. That was her 5th in 5 attempts on the season. The 3-sport varsity athlete in high school, Hoganrod also played basketball and cross country. Considered doing each of them collegiately, but ended up deciding to play softball when it became apparent she would have the opportunity to do so at the University of Michigan. She has been a lifelong Michigander, and I think her mom listens to her broadcasts occasionally, which is pretty cool.
Howdy.
Miranda Wines delivers to Rodriguez. She bunts, pops it up. The catch made on the fly by the third baseman Holdsworth, and Natalia Rodriguez is 0 for 2.
Yeah, not good form there.
Hindsight's 20/20. But yeah,
as we both wear our glasses,
it's pretty reasonable to assume that the form was off on a bunt that was popped up right to the third baseman. That brings up Faith Canfield, 0 for 1 with a walk. Holds the bat out in front. Pulls it back. The pitch from Miranda. Change up. Throw down to second as Hoganrod goes. She slides and avoids the tag. Sliding on the right field side of the baseline. The throw down there in time. Pulled almost a bit toward first base. If it were right on the bag, I think Hoganrod would have been dead to rights. Instead, she's in scoring position with her second stolen base of the day.
Yeah, like I said on the last stolen base for Hoganrod, really not a great jump and not a great amount of speed on the base paths, but just poor throws from Holland.
The 1-0 curveball misses off the plate away for ball 2.
And so now a runner in scoring position for some 2-out offense, perhaps. Guess you see with Holland's throws down on the attempted steals just how important it is to have that strong arm behind the plate.
The 2-0 curveball called strike at the knees, outer half for strike 1. Hostetler, the center fielder, is as jazzed up as any center fielder I have seen at the location of her pitcher's pitches. I guess she's got a good view of it.
69 pitches on the afternoon now for Miranda.
The 2-1 misses low and away with the curve. The count runs to 3-1 on Canfield. You might wonder how, as a leadoff hitter, she's only one off the team lead in RBI. It's because she's hitting .537 with runners in scoring position on the season. .500 with runners on. .500 with 2 outs. The 3-1 on its way. Swinging a high, towering shot down the left field line. It'll stop on the warning track where the catch will be made by Casey Skeens for the final out of the inning. Canfield just missed that one. So that will take us to the top of the 5th. Michigan a 2-0 lead over the Eastern Michigan Eagles here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball. I would have thought at this point in the game that it would be an opportunity for Michigan to sort of empty the bench, but to her credit, Nicole Miranda has done better than I expected against this Michigan lineup.
And just a 2-run game. Eastern Michigan by no means out of it yet, but they're going to have to get something going in an offense that isn't really one at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything that Michigan could change with their approach to the plate. Just, you know, got to hit the ball better. Looks like Courtney Richardson actually will be heading out to play left field. Either that or she's just playing catch.
We're going to see a change in
Aiden
right
Falk
as
is taking
well.
a seat.
Yeah, I think Falk headed back to the bench. She'll sit defensively in right.
An interesting move by head coach Carol Hutchins. We'll see how it pays off.
Even more interesting. Yeah, it's Haley Hoganrod moving over to right, as you said. Okay, and Courtney Richardson going out to left.
That is the case. Sophia Holland, the catcher, leading off, followed by Sam Isley and Ariana Cretion. That trio all 0 for 1 in their first plate appearances. So you had a tidbit that you were going to share with us.
Yes. Let's get the first pitch here, and then I'll make my defensive changes on the old score sheet here.
Ah, man, you're just a procrastinator. Holland struck out in her first at-bat. 1 of 7 for Blanco today. First pitch on the way misses in the dirt for ball 1. The first pitch has come and gone, and JP still has not shared the information we're waiting for. The 1-0 on its way. Curveball called, strike at the knees.
I'd like to keep you on the cliff. So it was not any no-hitters for Tara Blanco, but last year, 2 back-to-back complete game shutouts. That was Penn State and Northwestern. She allowed just 5 hits through 12 innings. That's the closest she has come in her career.
The 1-1 off the plate away for ball 2.
One other close call as well last year against Kent State. Career high 13 strikeouts and a complete game 2-hitter.
2-1, big swing and a miss. That changeup pulled the string. I'm calling it a changeup because of its dip. It very well could be a drop ball, but it's a breaking ball that drops through the zone and is off speed. The 2-2 swing and a miss down in the dirt. Strikeout number 8 for Tara Blanco, who has brought her best stuff today. Regardless of what name, the pitch still drops just as sweet.
Yeah, the Ocho there. She continues to mow down this lineup. 2 strikeouts now on the afternoon for Holland. And now Isley, who also struck out looking in her last at-bat, stepping to the plate.
Blanco winds, pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Curveball pulled the string. And man, some of the visible curves of these pitches speaks to the spin that she has been getting today. The 0-1 on its way, swing and a miss. Took something off of that one. It dipped down out of the zone, and Sam Isley had no prayer. I wish I knew like Isley Brothers songs to reference, but my musical knowledge is lacking. The 0-2 on its way, swinging a slow tapper. Blanco ranges to her right, stabs at it, fields, and fires to first for the second out of the inning.
I think pretty much Shout is like the only one, right? Yeah. Shout is like the main Isley Brothers hit.
Yeah, but they had other stuff.
Yeah, but is it Shout? Remember, I'm a Bills guy.
First pitch misses high to Ariana Cretion. 0 for 1 with a K, a forward K. Cretion rocking back and forth from foot to foot near the front of the box on the right side. The 1-0 slow roller over to short. Natalia Rodriguez, in her first action of the day, fields and fires to first for the final out of the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Tara Blanco, and Michigan will hit in the bottom of the 5th with a 2-0 lead. It's close on the scoreboard, but it doesn't really feel like a 2-run game. It feels like the lead is very secure, given how Tara Blanco has looked out there in the circle.
Well, looking over on the stat broadcast as well, I mean, 1 for 10 with runners on today for Michigan, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. So as I said, it's important to keep up appearances. Michigan's had good opportunities, but again, really struggling once they get the runners into scoring position. I mean, you look at the runs that were actually scored. Alexander was a gift run off the E9 and then fielder's choice and a pass ball to score, and then Tara Blanco scoring on a fielder's choice, really, and then the 9 again off Uden's hit that allowed Blanco to score.
I'd make the excuse that it's the cold weather, but...
Yeah. So very much to Miranda's credit, really, only one of the runs today has been earned. So she is also keeping her stat line low.
But Michigan has excelled in cold weather on the road, as well as at home against Purdue. And sometimes you just have one of those games. Sometimes you run into a pitcher who's got her best stuff going. Miranda, 4 innings pitched, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, only 1 strikeout, that one being Tara Blanco back in the first. As Natalie Peters steps to the plate. The delivery changeup called strike outside corner from Nicole Miranda.
That one very much looping in there with low velocity, throwing Peters off on the first pitch of the inning in the at-bat.
Peters 0 for 1 with a walk and a rocket line out to left field in her last at-bat. Miranda winds. The 0-1 misses high for ball 1. Peters taking her practice hacks and half hacks. 1-1 the count. The sun shining once again. Thankfully so. Swing, grounder back up the middle, gloved at her shoe tops by Nicole Miranda.
It's a very nice play to get that reach down to the dirt and produce the first out of the inning. It was a hard hit ball off the bat of Peters and a nice play.
Yeah, definitely the only shot that Eastern Michigan defense had at keeping Peters off the bases. Heck of a stab from Nicole Miranda. That brings up Tara Blanco.
I hope she doesn't stop using God's plan this season.
0 for 2 on the day.
It's growing.
Swing and a rocket toward right field. That one above the fence and gone. Got out of there before I could even call the homer. A solo shot for Tara Blanco. It's a lot of good things the Michigan fans are wishing on her as she puts them up 3-0.
God's plan. A Blanco blast. Line shot over the wall in right field, and the Michigan lead now 3-0.
That one never got more than about 15 feet of air.
Yeah,
but it might have
very
put a
much
dent
just
in the fence.
Squirted over the yellow tape atop the wall. They'll take them any way they can get them, and Blanco reaching out, taking that one for a ride, and she'll sit comfortably back on the bench with the first home run of the afternoon for either side and the 3rd run for Michigan.
Number 9 on the season for Tara Blanco. The first pitch to Lou Allen. Off speed, misses high for ball 1.
And really the first major blemish that falls on the arm of Miranda, who has done very well to get to this point so far in the afternoon.
The 1-0 on its way. More velocity, same location, misses high for ball 2 on the freshman Lou Allen, who has 0 for 1 with a walk. Miranda gets the sign. The 2-0 on its way. Same spot, same call. 3-0 on Lou Allen. Yet to see anything to hit.
Yeah, that bat's not leaving the shoulder here. So it should be an easy pitch and catch for Miranda.
3-0 on its way. Misses high yet again. It's a 4-pitch walk for Lou Allen.
That's the second 4-pitch walk of the afternoon for Miranda. Got to do a little better on the 3-0 to just put it over the plate.
And that will be head coach Melissa Gentili going out there to give a Miranda warning, telling her she has the right to throw some strikes.
Yeah, that one loaded up in the holster all afternoon.
It's been at least 2 innings I've been sitting on that one. That brings up Madison Uden, who comes up to Desperado by Rihanna, which is my favorite, I think, on the roster.
Yeah, but also there's better Desperados. The Tom Petty Desperado, you know.
I don't know if I'll give you that one, JP.
It's not as much of a bop as God's Plan. We'll see if it produces the same home run results.
Nicky Wald pinch running. First pitch changeup misses high for ball 1 on Uden. Probably a bit outside as well. Uden, a rope of an RBI single to right field. She's really come a long way this season. The 1-0 takes for a called strike on the outer edge. And yeah, pitchers have tended to hammer that outside corner against her, but she makes them pay more often than not nowadays. Her average up to 379. One of the big surprises on the year for the Wolverines. The 1-1 swinging a foul back to the screen.
Took a big bite out of that one. Got underneath it.
That back leg buckled with the effort. So 1-2 the count now on Madison Uden.
You got it well done from Kevin.
Appreciate it. The 1-2. Curveball off the plate, low and away. The count runs to 2-2 on the sophomore third baseman. As Coach Carol Hutchins jogging up and down that third base line to try to stay warm. Maybe she's just stir crazy. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Down goes the hitter. The runner goes. The throw down to second, not in time. Heck of a slide from Nicky Wald going in head first. I think she got a good jump because that throw was on the money.
And I think she was still out, honestly. It was,
I disagree.
You know, the third attempt, but...
Nah, the hand got in there a split second early.
Yeah. Either way, it's going to be a stolen base for Nicky Wald, so a strikeout for Madison Uden, and the advance to second there now. So another chance with runners in scoring position and 2 outs now for Katie Alexander.
Michigan, I think 3 for 3 on stolen bases, as well as other runners advancing on passed balls and the like. The first pitch to Katie Alexander, changeup, outer half belt high, called strike. Alexander 0 for 2, reached base on an error and grounded out to short. Stands with a slightly open stance near to the front of the box. The 0-1 on its way, swing and a pop-up shallow right. Coming on is Schilke to make the catch on the run.
Had to call it off. Schilke had some jitters out there earlier, but charging it well and taking the control out in right field, and that'll end the inning.
Really a very similar swing to her fly ball that produced an error out of Schilke back in the second inning. Similar trajectory, ton of backspin going out toward right field, just not quite barreling it up, trying to hit it out to the opposite field. So 3-0 Michigan leads, tacking another one on the strength of a Blanco blast as we head into the top of the 6th.
Still, again, not to this point what I would call an impressive Michigan outing. If for nothing else other than still the runner in scoring position numbers 1 for 12 with runners on, 1 for 8 runners in scoring position so far today.
That seems suboptimal.
Not what you're looking for, Mo.
Hasn't mattered to Tara Blanco. She has yet to give up a base runner via the batted ball through 5 innings. The lineup she will face, leading off the DP, Ariel Anderson, following her, Angel Schilke, and then Casey Skeens, the top of the order, hitting third in this inning. The baseball team taking batting practice. They're on a heck of a winning streak, too. They've risen up to 16th in the country in RPI.
Yep.
It's got to be the first time in, around a decade where the baseball team has been higher ranked than the softball team.
Team that, when I watched their games down in Port St. Lucie to open the season, looked miserable. It lost to Lawrence Tech, the first ever win for Lawrence Tech against a Division I school. They lost that one 8-2, and since then have just been pedal to the metal.
First pitch swing is a foul ball toward the right side by the slapper Anderson. 0 for 1 with a ground out to Uden, her last at bat.
Blanco still working efficiently, 67 pitches on the day. That was her 68th. Trying to hit that roughly 10 pitches per inning is excellent.
The 0-1 misses high and outside for ball 1. Plenty of gas, a little less command. Blanco agrees with the sign. The 1-1 misses high for ball 2. Letting them sail a bit on her. Natalie Peters decidedly not jumping up and down with every pitch the way Hostetler has been. The 2-1 misses in the dirt. Blanco has missed pretty badly with the last 3 pitches. The count runs to 3-1.
And that's going to draw out Alexander. And a rare pitch as well that gets by the glove of Alexander.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be trying to block it at this stage.
Hard to stop them all. I don't know, it's cool. If you have that, stat line, that'd be a cool stat to have. Never let a ball pass. I can't think of many this season.
3-1 the count. Blanco winds, delivers, called strike, outer edge.
Good comebacker.
Pounds the glove of Alexander.
Third full count of the day for Blanco. She's given up walks in the last 2 tries.
Blanco winds the payoff pitch, called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Number 9 for Tara Blanco.
She's a beauty, that number 9.
And the first batter is away here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Angel Schilke, the first base runner of the game for the Eagles. Reached base with a walk with 2 outs in the 3rd. First pitch on the way, misses high, and Blanco is on pace to give her a free pass yet again.
And to this minute, one of just 2 base runners on the afternoon for Eastern Michigan, both from walks. The other was Hostetler, who was called out for leaving early.
The 1-0. Schilke squares the bunt, pulls back as the pitch misses high again for ball 2.
Trending in the last 2 at-bats, falling behind early for Tara Blanco.
Yeah, runs counter to what she's done for the majority of this game. Blanco comes set. The 2-0 misses high yet again. The count runs to 3-0. There aren't many players in this Eastern lineup who will punish you for making mistakes, but if you give a couple of hitters a free pass, then you're just 1 pitch away from tying this game up. The 3-0 on its way. That one a called strike outer half, belt high.
And now a chance for Tara to come back and get back right to it in what was a 3-0 count.
Blanco comes set, the 3-1 on its way, swing and a miss. Blew it by the bat of Angel Schilke.
Pulled the string there. She gave her the heat down low. Couldn't catch up and chase.
Blanco gets her sign. She winds. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Schilke. Strikeout number 10 for Tara Blanco.
That's 2 full hands worth of strikeouts. But really, she only needs 1 hand with a ball to make it happen.
Down goes Schilke. Blanco looking silky smooth out there in the circle. That was a stretch.
Yeah, a little bit.
First pitch to Skeens. She takes. It's a called strike. Someone, I think, just hit a batting practice home run on the baseball field. For what it's worth, it's a lefty.
Skeen's last name similar to Melissa Gentili's nickname, Skeeter.
She swings and rolls one to Blanco's left. Reaches over, fields, and backhand flips to the first baseman, Allen, for the final out of the inning. So Tara Blanco is 3 outs away from a no-hitter, or 5 runs for Michigan in the bottom half of the 6th, as they lead 3-0 here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball.
Skeens has, in all 3 at-bats, gone right back to Blanco.
She should try a different approach.
Probably.
In my opinion. How about this? Angel strikes out because Blanco's been a devil to deal with today.
All right.
It needs
We'll
work.
settle for a minute.
It's a shame we don't play Eastern again. Otherwise, I'd have time to workshop.
Yeah.
But this is my last chance.
Yeah, it's your last shot again, not only because Eastern's leaving, but I'm going down to the Caribbean to visit you.
Yeah.
Morris is getting tropical. Going to be a tropical doctor.
I might fly in one weekend to call a home slate or something.
I mean, we could actually found the St. Kitts and Nevis national softball team.
That would be quite an extracurricular undertaking, given that I'll be having a med school course load. But
we'll be like the softball version of Cool Runnings.
It's an idea.
It's a softball team.
It's not a good idea. It's an idea, though. Courtney Richardson leading things off for the Wolverines. First pitch swinging, fouls it back to the screen. If there's one thing I've seen out of Courtney Richardson this season is that she is ready and willing to swing and swing hard at everything, which is fun to watch. The results haven't been there. She's 0 for 8 on the season. Miranda winds. Richardson lines one down the left field line. That's a fair ball, her first hit of the season. She takes a wide turn and will scoot back to first base with a leadoff single.
Took her 9 at-bats, but C. Rich is on base with a hot diggity dog single down that left base line.
Yeah, her number now matches her at-bats on the year. She's 1 for 9. She wears 19, for those who are not clued in. Haley Hogenrod at the plate now. 1 for 1, got hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. Miranda winds. First pitch, she squares to bunt. Sort of stabs at it and bunts it foul.
Might have been better served to pull that one back. We saw Natalia Rodriguez muff a bunt, pop out earlier.
Hutch relays a series of signs. Miranda winds, the 0-1. Swing, fly ball, left center field. That one could be trouble. It's down, and it bounces all the way up against the wall. Taking the turnaround third, heading home is Courtney Richardson. It's an RBI double for Haley Hogenrod, and Michigan takes a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
And again, Hogenrod, so good here at Alumni Field, continues her tear. And that will be another RBI. It'll be number 15 on the season. That's a whole rack of ribs for Haley Hogenrod.
Skeens, the left fielder, gave it all she could, tried to make a spectacular catch, but that is the downside if you can't keep that ball in front of you. And she's going to receive a talking to by an assistant coach while it looks like a pitching change is going to be made. We're going to find out who this is as soon as we see her number. It's probably Kiera Hurley.
Hogenrod
it's Trisha Trujillo.
Hogenrod has yet to produce an out today.
That is true. Helping that AVG and the OBP. And the RBI. for H something H. I don't know her middle name. They don't give us that in our lineup card.
So that'll be the end of the day for Miranda with 93 pitches. She'll still be responsible for Hoganrod, so we will get you the final stat line after she is resolved. This is such a great song.
It is.
That closing song from Napoleon Dynamite. I remember I learned this dance when I was like 10. Probably could still do it. Busting a move up here with Mo.
Yeah, you're doing a heck of a seated rendition.
Gonna see Subject coming in here to pinch hit as well.
Trisha Trujillo, senior righty. 4.29 ERA on the season, a 1.87 whip. She's 3-9, thrown 66 and 2/3 innings, 53 strikeouts, 38 walks. Out of Whittier, California. And yeah, that brings up Alex Subject. First pitch on the way, swinging a foul high off the screen.
Subject on the season. This is her 60th at bat. She's hitting .271 overall. She's also got 14 RBIs, number that was just added onto by Haley Hoganrod to make 15.
Trujillo winds the 0-1, big cut and a foul tip, I think, into the glove of the catcher Holland for strike 2.
Subject was looking for the moon ball there. She's hitting .370 with runners in scoring position, which is almost 100 points better than her normal average, so Michigan's still trying to bust in on that runners in scoring position number.
The 0-2 she takes, and it's a curveball off the plate away for ball 1. Faith Canfield still waiting on deck. We'll see how far into the bench head coach Carol Hutchins will dig. Trujillo winds the 1-2, swinging a pop-up foul. With any luck, that's going to get over the screen. I think that skirted off the screen on its way down before the catcher Sophia Holland bobbled it.
Didn't make the catch either way, but didn't get the signal until after it hit the ground, so it very well could have been a ball in play.
Yeah, she was just so nonchalant about that bobble, I had to think that it was out of play. Otherwise, more life for Alex Subject. The 1-2 on its way, misses low and in for ball 2. Subject, the junior, started out her career as a catcher for the Maize and Blue. Seen more time at third base this season. Now more of a pinch hitter,
utility role.
Role, yep. The 2-2 on its way, swinging a foul toward the left side. Got that with the end of the bat. She was way out in front.
Well out in front. Stays alive though at 2-2.
High velocity offering from Trujillo.
He's got that long curly hair, does Trujillo, very reminiscent of Natalia Rodriguez's mane.
The 2-2 swing and a soft grounder over to short, fielded on 2 hops. The throw to first in time to nab by a step. Moving over to third, heads up base running by Haley Hoganrod. So a productive out for Alex Subject, and that brings up Faith Canfield 0 for 2 with a walk. Flied out to the track and left, her last plate appearance. Trujillo working quickly, gets her sign. Winds high, delivers curveball, called strike, thigh high, right down the middle. Trujillo firmly pounds the ball into her glove. When she winds, she raises her hands very high above her head, reaching for the sky. Before delivering home, the 0-1, another called strike, got her half. Canfield behind in the count, 0-2.
Nice back-to-backers there for Trujillo, who now has some room on 0-2. See if she maybe tries to draw a chase out of Canfield here.
The 0-2 on its way, swinging a foul back to the screen. It was up above the zone, even in on the hands a bit. Canfield fought it off. She's pretty good at that. She's struck out twice on the season.
Canfield still looking for her first hit of the day. She walked back in the third. She's got a ground out and a fly out in the first and fourth, respectively.
Another 0-2 swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 on the season. Trujillo and Canfield bucking their respective trends. So Hoganrod remains on third with 2 outs. That's going to bring up a pinch hitter and Taylor Bump. Bump comes up to All of the Lights by Kanye West featuring Rihanna, Kid Cudi, some other people.
Haven't heard the
Fergie.
Haven't heard the name Cudi in a while.
I think he's been I've heard that he's been active with Kanye down in Jackson Hole, working on whatever the next project is. First pitch is skied foul by Taylor Bump, the freshman, hitting 190 on the season.
But again, good numbers overall with runners in scoring position. 333 as she's going to try and bring Hoganrod around, who is still standing over on the bag at third.
The 0-1 from Trujillo. She takes and it dips low for ball 1. You had to have gone through a Kid Cudi phase, right?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
Oh, man. I feel like that's just a thing most high schoolers around our age did. Either way, he hasn't put out anything good in a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
The 1-1 on its way. Starts low, stays low. Bump lets it skirt by her shoe tops for ball 2. Bump really had a fantastic senior season of high school. Didn't hit for much power throughout her, but more than doubled her career total. Yet to showcase that power here, swinging a foul tip into the glove for strike 2. But as a freshman, she'll get her shot.
This is just her 22nd at bat on the season, so again, sample sizings on everything around the stat column.
Yeah, she's got a bit of a roadblock for playing time on the left side of that infield. The 2-2 swinging a foul back to the screen.
She struck out 4 times in her first 21 plate appearances, and she does a good job to fight off that 2-2. Trying to keep the inning alive here for Michigan, trying to advance on a 4-0 lead. Of course, it's going to be final call for Eastern in the top of the 7th.
Trujillo winds, the 2-2 to Bump. She takes, and it's just off the plate. Inside, ball 3.
That left side for Mark Drouillard has been a tough call for all around so far this afternoon. For Blanco, for Miranda, and for Trujillo. Full count now.
Good take from Bump. The payoff pitch on its way. Swing, fly ball left field, taking a step back and then stopping and turning in as Skeens to make the catch a few steps in front of the warning track. It's a loud, fairly deep out for Taylor Bump, and that will end the Wolverines' threat in the bottom of the 6th. They add 1 more, and we head to the top of the 7th with Tara Blanco 3 outs away from her first career no-hitter. The lineup she will face, hitting leadoff is Haley Hostetler, hitting second, Lauren Holdsworth, hitting third, Brandis Almas. Blanco 10 strikeouts through 6 innings.
So another Tara Blanco stat, she combined with Megan Betza for a 5-inning no-hitter against Rutgers.
I mean,
so
I could have combined
rule
with Megan Betza for a 5-inning no-hitter against Rutgers.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
So yeah, just kind of adding in on some of that earlier information.
I don't actually believe that.
I kind of do, honestly.
I'd get rocked. It's possible that I could put forth some, maybe some better swings. I could play better defense than UDM did.
That's fair.
Against Michigan. But, you know, it's probably not a good idea to measure myself against college softball players, both because my estimation of my own abilities will be very off. No, that's the only reason.
Hostetler looking for a chance to redeem herself, though, here at the start of the inning. Last time she got on base via the walk and then was called out for leaving early.
First pitch foul tip off the glove of Alexander, down to the dirt, strike one. Blanco winds the 0-1, bounces about 8 feet in front of the plate. Hostetler didn't swing. Count 1-1. Hostetler, the righty. 0-8, Blanco winds the 1-1. Called strike, outer corner.
Well placed.
She's really got some velocity. Megan Bobian throws the hardest on this team, but I think Blanco, on her day, can match her MPH for MPH. The 1-2 just misses.
That's good, just above the belt, yeah.
Maybe a bit away, a good setup pitch. If not, a good put away. 2-2, nobody on. No outs, top of the 7th. Blanco winds the pitch on its way, swinging a slow roller over toward third. Uden fields on a couple hops, fires to first for the first out of the inning, and I don't think that is... Oh, that is Madison Uden. Oh. Anyway, 1 up, 1 down for Eastern Michigan in the top of the 7th. I assume that because both Subject and Bump hit, that we might see some defensive replacements, but still the only one we've seen is C-Rich out and left.
Well, I got you here for a second. The final stat line for Miranda, now that her outing is completely done. 5 innings full. She gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. Only 3 of those were earned. 4 walks and 2 Ks. And she is sitting with the loss right now, unless Eastern can get something going.
First pitch to Lauren Holdsworth, fouled back to the screen. Holdsworth has struck out really 3 times today, but on the scorebook twice. Once swinging, once looking. The righty hitting .237, leans forward in the box. Rocks slightly back as she awaits the pitch, and it dips low, bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Infield and outfield still straight away. Not much of a need for them to be out there the way Blanco's been working. The 1-1, swing and a tapper foul off the end of the bat toward the Eastern Michigan dugout, out in front of the changeup that probably caught a good deal of the zone, but it was deceptive enough that it got a bad swing. Blanco working quickly, winds the 1-2, swing and a miss. Down goes Holdsworth. She's got a hat trick, and Blanco's got 11 on the game.
Well, her career high is 13 strikeouts. She won't touch it today, but she could get within 1 if she can close this game out with a K here.
Well, you don't know that. Drop third strikes are a part of the rule book. It's unlikely, though. That brings up Brandis Almas. Struck out her last at-bat. First pitch swinging. Slow roller off the glove of Madison Uden. And she's aboard with an infield single. 1 out away for Tara Blanco.
Provided that's the way it is scored, I think that will be. It did bounce off the glove of Uden as she reached over to the left. I'll let you know in just a minute how the home scoring goes, but it very well could be the one scratch on Tara Blanco's fine afternoon.
Oh, they're scoring it as an error. If I've ever seen home cooking.
They are indeed. That's
home cooking.
It would have been
such a difficult play for Uden.
Would have been very close had she been able to squeeze the glove to it. Going back across, she would have had to make the transfer and go back across her body to first in time.
I mean, she's just reaching with all she has out to her left, and it bounces off the tip of the webbing. To me, that's a hit 100 out of 100 times. Well, I guess that means Tara Blanco is still 1 out away from a no-hitter, but it feels cheap to me. Hopefully she feels different.
Gonna call it reaching on an error.
That brings up Sophia Holland, the catcher. First pitch swinging, a foul back to the screen.
E5.
You know, next year when she's in the record books, if she's in the record books and gets this final out, they're not going to remember that error. Blanco gets the sign, the 0-1, swing and a miss. Blanco has been stellar throughout, and now she is 1 strike away from a no-hitter, in the record books at least. Shakes off the first sign. Gets her sign now. A drum roll in the crowd. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss. High heat, down goes Holland. A dozen strikeouts for Tara Blanco, and she has done it. Her first career no-hitter in the final battle of Washtenaw County. The Michigan Wolverines triumph over the Eastern Michigan Eagles 4-0.
A great game for Tara Blanco, as you said. 12 strikeouts on the afternoon. Michigan never really seemed to put their foot to the accelerator, but they did enough to secure a 4-0 win. They put up just 5 hits on the afternoon. 1 long ball for Tara Blanco, helping her cause in the circle. 2 errors for Eastern Michigan, both in right field. Both of those charged to Schilke. And then in the top of the 7th inning, an error charged to Madison Uden. A questionable ruling, but the ruling nonetheless, and that leaves Eastern Michigan going home with no hits on the scoreboard. And that will do it, at least for now, for the Michigan-Eastern Michigan softball rivalry.
Whether or not I agree with the scoring decision, I think that Tara Blanco deserves to have her performance today commemorated in the record books. She deserves to have her tenure commemorated in the record books in as many places as possible. She did it on both ends, hit a rocket of a home run to right, and she was electric in the circle. It would have been a tough luck base hit nonetheless, even though I think it should have been scored as such. And in the end, she's got her no-hitter. Michigan's got a win, looking to carry an 8-game winning streak into tomorrow against a Michigan State team that has struggled this season, but always gives this Michigan team as much as they can handle.
Yep, Michigan will advance to 32-7. Eastern will drop to 6-28 on the year. And as we said, tomorrow, WCBN Sports back here at the friendly confines at Alumni, 4 o'clock, first pitch against the Michigan State Spartans. You can catch that one both, as always, online, WCBN.com or WCBNsports.org, getting the websites confused, YouTube.com/WCBN Sports, and 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor.
And that's all we have for you today. Thank you to those of you who have tuned into our broadcast. For Jeremy Parks, I'm Morris Fabry, leaving you with a good night and a go blue.